Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's tropical update. So, we continue to watch Hurricanes Earl and Kay, and as of 8 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, Wednesday, September the 7th, Hurricane Earl has maximum sustained winds of 85 miles per hour, a minimum central pressure of 978 millibars, and is moving north at 6 miles per hour. We have Hurricane Danielle in the north central Atlantic, which has actually strengthened back to 80 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 980 millibars and is moving northeast at 14 miles per hour. We continue to watch this tropical wave west of the Cape Verde Islands with a 60% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 2 to 5 days. And this other wave is worth watching as well, with a 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 5 days as it comes off of Africa. Looking at Hurricane Earl is now looking much better on this satellite. Infrared imagery is now starting to have convection on all quadrants, and we are seeing the potential formation of an eye trying to develop right about here. As the wind shear has dramatically weakened, you don't see the clouds really blowing strongly from southwest to northeast anymore. You see the storm is able to uh, remain organized now. So this is a sign that the strengthening trend has started for Hurricane Earl and will continue to strengthen over the next few days as it moves north and eventually northeast. And looking at the wind shear map, the wind shear has just completely collapsed around Hurricane Earl, as now we are dealing with only 15 to 20 knots of wind shear, as of around this time yesterday, we were dealing with wind shear of about 30 to 35 knots. So Earl is now in neutral to favorable wind shear for strengthening and will continue to move in an environment of low wind shear over the next few days, allowing it to rapidly strengthen. Looking at the National Hurricane Center's projected cone for Earl, Hurricane Earl is expected to move just south of Bermuda by tomorrow afternoon, pass about 150 miles to the southeast, strengthening to a major hurricane Thursday night and early Friday morning, and rapidly start to pull northeast by Friday afternoon. We now have tropical storm warnings in effect for Bermuda, as tropical storm winds are now expected to pass through the island. And looking at the intensity or the tracks, the spaghetti model tracks, Hurricane Earl is now in good agreement. It's going to pass probably between 100 to 150 miles southeast of the island, and the island is going to experience at least tropical storm force winds, heavy rain, and very high surf with Hurricane Earl. And looking at the intensity guidance models, um, is expected to start to rapidly strengthen over the next 24 to 60 hours, with many models peaking at a Category 3, the majority of the models peaking at a Category 3 hurricane by Friday before it moves into cooler waters and weakens. So it'll be passing Bermuda in about 36 hours, likely as a mid to high grade Category 2 hurricane, and the wind field will expand, causing Bermuda to feel those tropical storm force winds. And looking at just going to look at the wind field real quick for tropical storm force winds, the probabilities. Bermuda now has a 70 to 80% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds between Thursday afternoon and early Friday morning. So it is now very likely that Bermuda will see tropical storm force winds, at least from Hurricane Earl, Thursday night. Now looking at Hurricane K, Hurricane K is looking very organized. It's looking like it's got a perfectly symmetrical eye and eye wall now, and it's starting to move some of those bands of rain into the southern Baja Peninsula of California near La Paz and Cabo San Lucas. And looking at the cone for Hurricane K, we now have maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour and movement north-northwest at 12 miles per hour for Hurricane K. We have tropical storm warnings for much of the southern, eastern, and southwestern Baja Peninsula of California in the blue. We have hurricane watches in the pink, and we now have hurricane warnings for the west central coast of the Baja Peninsula of California, as Hurricane K is expected to uh, move very close uh, between Thursday afternoon and so between 12 p.m. Thursday and 12 a.m. Friday is when Hurricane K is expected to make a very close passage to the west central portion of the Baja Peninsula of California. And tropical storm watches even for the northern Baja Peninsula in the yellow. So make sure you are preparing for hurricane conditions Thursday afternoon and evening if you live in the west central Baja Peninsula uh, from Hurricane K. And looking at the spaghetti model tracks, unfortunately the tracks have shifted a little bit to the east, like I said. If it shifted 50 miles to the east, we'd be seeing more impacts. And unfortunately, it looks like the models have shifted to a closer passage with a couple making a landfall in the central western Baja. And looking at the intensity guidance keeps it a category 2 hurricane through Thursday. So we're going to be seeing potentially some uh, big time impacts for the western Baja Peninsula. And if it's not just the wind, it's going to be the flooding as well. So thanks for watching today's tropical update. Make sure you prepare for tropical storm conditions in Bermuda Thursday afternoon and Thursday night, and tropical storm and even hurricane conditions for the Baja Peninsula between uh, Wednesday for the southern Baja Peninsula and especially Thursday for the west central Baja Peninsula and Friday for the north central Baja Peninsula. Stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.